Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing our place value unit from the beginning of the year. This video is just a quick refresher on the different strategies to show numbers and also the different place value names. So first of all, let's start out with a 6-digit number. And let's go ahead and label all of our different places because this is the very first thing we learn, and I think it would be really good for us to just kind of go back to that and make sure that we still remember how to do this, kind of like a little bit of a refresher right before we go on break. So our first place here is the ones place. Very good. Ones place. It goes ones, then tens. Very good. After that, we have the hundreds. And if you remember from before, this comma signifies that everything after this comma, these three places all have the word thousand in them. So it goes ones, tens, hundreds, and then the pattern kind of starts over again with thousands. And then we have 10,000s. So it's kind of like a little pattern here. We've got thousands, 10,000s, and then if we look at our other places, ones, tens, hundreds, we know that thousands, 10,000s, the obvious next one is going to be 100,000s. So those are our places. We'll go over them really quick. So say it with me now. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Let's do it one more time. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. And it's very important to remember that this comma karate chops this number into two separate parts. That's actually going to help us when we read this number out loud. So we're going to start, when we're trying to read these numbers out loud, we start over here, just like kind of how you read from left to right. We're going to read this number from left to right. We're going to start with our thousands period, and we're going to read this number first. Everything before the comma we say first. So this number, we're not even going to worry about this part of the number yet, okay? We're going to read this number right here, this 3-digit number, 694. So that is how you would say it, 694. Then the comma says 1,000 because we're at the end of the thousands period. So now we're going to say 694,000. Then we're going to read this part of the number, 102. So it goes 694,102. If you want to try it with me, go ahead. 694,102. Okay? And that is how you would break this number up and read it out loud. All right, now let's get into what place actually is. Place is where the number lives, okay? So all these places that we just talked about, these are kind of like their houses, where they live. You can only have one digit per house. You can only have one number living in the ones place, one number in the tens, one number in the hundreds. So our digits are the numbers that you could place in them. Okay, so our digits are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 10 is not a digit because we cannot put 10 in this place because that's two numbers. So a digit is any single number. All the single numbers, all the single numbers, all the single numbers. Now put your hands up. Okay, so it's all the single numbers that could fit inside of a place. And they live in these places. These are like their little houses, okay? Then we have the word value because we're learning about place value. Value is how much the number is worth, okay? So really, this number right here is 2, but it's in the ones place, so it's worth 2 ones. This 0 is in the tens place, but a 0 is always just worth the 0 no matter where it's at. This 1 is in the hundreds place, so it's not really worth 1, it's actually worth 100. This 4 is in the thousands place, so it's worth 4,000. This 9 is in the 10,000s place, so you're thinking 9 10,000s. Well, we wouldn't call it 9 10,000s, we would call it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We call it 90,000, okay? And then this 6 is in the 100,000, so it's actually worth 600,000. So these numbers, they live in these places, and these places determine how much they're worth. It's kind of like this house is worth 2 ones. This house is worth 0 tens. This house is worth 100. This house is worth 4,000, and so on. So the value is how much it's worth. And that is going to play into one of our forms with expanded form. So let's go ahead and talk about our 4 different forms. There are 4 different forms for writing a number. We have standard form, we have base 10, we have word, and then we have expanded. And there are 4 different ways really to show a number. We're going to stick with a 4-digit number for this because that's how high up our base 10 blocks go, up to like a thousands block, because we're not doing 10,000s blocks. So a standard number is just the regular number, okay? So let's go with 2,136. So this is our standard form. This is how you write it. The word standard means normal, regular. Our regular number is our starting point, okay? This is the normal way we write a number. Another way we could write it is with our base 10 blocks. And just as a reminder, there are 4 different types of blocks that we talk about. There are the ones blocks, the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands. I'm going to show you all of them right now. Let's start out with our ones blocks. We need 6 little ones blocks, and these are tiny little squares because they are little ones blocks. Make sure you have 6 of them. It's really easy to accidentally forget one or put an extra one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Next, we have our tens blocks. I draw these as nice, tall, and skinny tens blocks, and we need 3 of them. Okay, so we have 10, 20, 30, which that 3 is worth 30 because it's in the tens place. Next, we have 100ths block, and this is just going to be a really big square. That's going to show, it's going to represent our hundredths block, and we have 1 of them because it's 100. And then we have 2,000s blocks. So I draw our thousands blocks as a cube. Start out by drawing a square, put a dot in the middle, do a line out like this, and a line up like this to make like a capital L. Then make this into a square, so now you have 2 squares. Connect the corners, and you have a thousands block. Okay, and we actually need 2 of them, so I'm going to draw 1 more because this represents 2,000. Okay, so this is how we would do it with base 10 blocks. We have 2,000s blocks, so 1 2,000, 100ths block, 3 tens blocks because this is representing 30, 10, 20, 30, and 6 ones blocks. And so this is how you would draw it in base 10 blocks. Next, we have our word form, and word form is, I forgot to write blocks up here. So base 10 blocks, and it's really easy to remember because they're the only ones that start with a B. Base 10 and blocks, okay? Word form is just exactly how you would say it. So words are what you say when you talk. This is, you're gonna write it in words how you say this number. So first we start out by saying this number before the comma, which is just 2. The comma says 1,000. 2,000, and then you always put a comma after the word 1,000 because it's separating the number and it's also separating the words. So 2,000, and then we say this number, 136. So then I would write 136. Okay, that's word form. And then expanded form is when you add the values together of the number. And here we use something called the pizza method, where you write the number out, 2,136, and we're going to add the value of the number. The value is how much each digit is worth. So we're going to drop the 2 down, and the 2 is actually worth 2,000. All these other digits become zeros. So 2,000 plus, now because we dropped the 1 down, this is worth 100, plus drop the 3 down, 30, plus 6. And our expanded form would be 2,000 plus 100 plus 30 plus 6. You can do it with the pizza method, and it's called the pizza method because it looks kind of like a pizza slice after you're done with it. Okay, and then You'll probably see it written like this though, stretched out. Expanded form is when you take something and you stretch it out. That's what we're doing with this number. We're taking it and we're stretching out and adding the values together to get this number, to get the standard form, okay? So these are our 4 different forms. I hope this review video helped jog your memory a little bit about place value, and good luck on your Google form. Thanks for watching.